I mean, it could be tough to graduate in 4 years these days. That's 15 hours a semester. So that allows you a little bit more leverage to where, like, I would, if I was advising you right now, I would advise you to take some electives or things in your first year, your first semester, because you would be coming in ahead of the curve to explore these different options. So like maybe take a business class and a psychology class, or I mean, I think if you're interested in the esports stuff, then you might want to take a computer programming class because a CIT class here, because you're going to learn like so how those things are designed, and and some of the basics there, which no matter what you end up doing will hopefully be interesting and will really help you figure out what it is you want to major in. When I came to college, I wanted to be like everything, right? So and that's kind of the funnel, right? Like it sounds like you have many different interests, and so like it's for me it was more about eliminating things than it was about like choosing, right? So then by the end I was just like, okay, well, what's left? Okay, I guess that's what I'm going to do, math. But anyway, so like as far as specifics go, like that would be a conversation where you'd have to sit down, look at your schedule. What do you prefer? Like, all kinds of stuff would go into that. But like the it's very flexible in designing your schedule. All right.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I hope that's helpful, Jericho. Did you have any other questions that are kind of on the top of your mind?
I guess if I did stick with a business degree, what kind of math classes might I be looking at in terms of marketing or finance or what have you?
Yeah, so there's a business, what are we calling it now? I think we just changed the name of it. It used to be called finite math, but I think now it's business math or something like that, which is kind of the equivalent of like college algebra, but focused on business applications more. I believe so. There's that, and then you'd probably take applied statistics. I think most of the business majors take that one, which I typically have taught in the past, and that is an introduction to using data to make decisions, which I think is pretty fun. So, yeah, and that's also a class I think students enjoy, based on the reviews that I get. So, those would be the two ones for that, and then for psychology, I believe it's college algebra is the required class for them, which is like so. And the bit we try to design it to where the business algebra and college algebra, those are interchangeable. So like if you were to change your mind later and move to psychology or vice versa, one would count for the other. It's just like similar material, just like one's focused on interest rate calculations and the other we do interest rates and population growth, or like the math is the same, the applications are just slightly different. So yeah, I mean, if you were coming in and we're going to take a math class your first semester, that would either one of those two would knock out that requirement, and it would also be part of the core at the same time.
What kind of sets our math program here at Schreiner apart from some other universities?
Well, we have a pretty big and diverse major in math. I think people might think that math is a small major. At least that's what I would have thought coming to a place like Schreiner. But we actually have many more math majors than we should per capita. I think it has a lot to do with the so there's 4 of us in the math department, and I'm the worst teacher, right? So everybody is in the math department loves teaching and is a phenomenal teacher. The Dr. McKay, the chair of the math department, has won teaching awards like 10 times or something in his career here, which is pretty impressive when we have, students that come in that are trepidatious about taking math classes. And I think it says a lot that students selected him as their favorite teacher, right? And I think all of us have a real passion for taking students that may have had a poor experience in math classes before and sort of changing their mind about the subject. Not everybody loves math at the end of the class, but I think people change their opinion in a positive way and can see the beauty and usefulness of mathematical thinking. So we get a lot of majors from people that come in thinking that they're going to major in something else, and they take a couple of math classes, and all of a sudden they fall in love with the subject. And one of the other common misconceptions, I think, about math is that what are you going to do with that? Right? That's always the question. And so I think one thing that you could definitely do is become a high school teacher or any level teacher. And if you're interested in teaching, then math is probably the best choice you could possibly make, because there's such a demand for a math teacher. None of our students in math ever have any problem whatsoever. They get whatever placement they want, right? They're the people that get 8 different offers. And I think, that can be true for a lot of majors at Schreiner. But if you're in English or some of these other subjects, history, there's a lot of people that major in those subjects. And a lot of people that want to become teachers. And there's not as big a demand. And so it's much more, I think the education people will tell you it's much more competitive to get those positions. Now, of course, they can make you competitive, but for math, you're sort of guaranteed to get whatever job you want, right? So if you want to live in, near where you grew up or something, then you'll get a job there right away. But there are so many other opportunities besides teaching. And the world that we live in now is what they call it the information age, right? And so every one of those jobs is done by somebody that's a mathematician of some sort. So as a mathematician myself, right? So like I've worked for National Intelligence Agency and Broken Code. The largest employer of mathematicians in the United States is the National Security Agency. I have had the opportunity to work for tech companies, right? And so Google hires, for just something that everybody's familiar with. Google hires tons of math majors. All of those companies. Data science is the #1 rated career in the United States right now. What is data science? Data science is mathematics combined with some computing. And so many of our student math majors have gone on to be data scientists. One in particular I'm thinking of graduated a couple years ago, and he's now a data scientist for Walmart. And these career fields are only going to grow from here. Another one of our graduates got a job with U.S. Cyber Command to work as a civilian at their, in Fort Meade in Maryland there. And they, he showed me his offer letter. It was over $100,000 a year, $50,000 bonus, and they paid off all of his student loans. Right? Great. And he hadn't even taken any real programming classes here. They just knew that he was a math major and he could solve problems. So, when people say like, well, what are you going to do with a math degree? I say, what can't you do with a math degree? It's a license to solve. It's just basically a piece of paper that says I can solve problems. And guess what? There's a lot of problems in the world, and that's a very valuable skill to have. The thing about Schreiner is that you do not need to come here with a strong math background. You don't have to feel like you're good at math. And when I started college, I had not taken calculus in high school. I did not feel like I was a strong math, um, you know, person. I didn't come in. I was in some like, beautiful mind, math just lights up for me kind of person. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to pass calculus if I wanted to be a biology major. And I thank God I had some good teachers, and I just said I'm going to keep taking a math class until I fail. I like this stuff, but I don't think I'm very good at it. And I think that's what I tell students here. It's like if you like it, then just take another class. And now I look back and it's like, well, look at all the math that they have, right? So it's if you love something, then you'll get good at it. So if you like math, or you like puzzles, even, right? Some of the people have not even seen what math really is at this point, and so I look forward to having you in class at Shriner, because I can show you that I think many of you are doing math already, and will love it when you see just the way of thinking that it brings forth. So you should come here and you should major in math, or you should come here and you should come see me.